Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1933 Underwood 4-bank portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. 4-bank means it has 4 rows of keys, and the one before this had the 3-bank, which is the 3 rows of keys and 2 shifters, one for shift and one for figure. I do have one of those I'll be posting soon, so keep an eye out for that. The margins are located behind the carriage. You just push them in like this and move them and lock them in like that. You just want to make sure they're in between the paper fingers in front, so that way you don't get stuck on those. And right now they're set to be right on the edge of the page. And this is the paper bail that sits on top. It's got 3 adjustable rollers, so you got a lot of support to hold down the page on this model. I'm going to test those margins, and that right margin is too deep. I'm going to move it closer to the center. There we go. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, get you back to the beginning, and skips 1 or 2 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, there's a little switch right here. You just push it down, skips 2. We're going to keep that on single though, which is when you have it all the way up, and it just skips 1. And finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence on the next line. Beautiful. This is one of the best typewriters Underwood ever made. Besides the Underwood 5 desktop, this is probably the second best one that they made. The later you get in age, they kind of, with the portables, they go more for looks than they do for function. This one's got a really nice function, classic feel to it. Sound is unlike any other typewriter. It's got a really nice sound to it. Backspace on the top left, that works good. I'm going to take the page out real quick. So there's a switch back here. If you just flip it forward, it unlocks the rollers underneath the plat, allowing you to pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. You got a shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit that shift button again. Pretty straightforward keyboard here, nothing fancy. This is your ribbon ratchet or ribbon reverse. If you have it pushed towards the back, it'll pull to the right side. If you have it pushed towards the front, it'll pull towards the left, and you can ratchet it, wind it up, whatever you want to call it. All the brand new ribbons loaded on this left side, so it's pulling to the right. And if you want to access these spools, you just squeeze them like this and they pop right off. And you can test that again. So that's the way we want it on most Underwoods. It threads underneath on both sides, so it's going counterclockwise to the right and clockwise when it pulls to the left. And these just pop back on from the right side goes in first, and then the front just kind of snaps in there like that. Carriage release on just the right side on this model. Works very good, very smooth. And if you pull out this knob, you disable the spacing like that, so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You push it in, you get those clicks. Each one of those clicks is 1 space. When you get to the end of the carriage, or the end of the margin, it'll block the keys, and to unlock it, you push the margin release, which is that silver button. It'll allow you to go all the way to the end or until you get stuck on that paper finger. Color selector switch on the top right side. Right now it's all the way to the left, which prints the top portion of the ribbon. When you have it all the way to the right, it prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. As you can see, the vibrator goes up higher when you have it on the red. And when you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. We're going to leave that on black. And a fun fact is you can double use a black ribbon, solid black ribbon, just by when you use it all up, just push it on the right and you'll print the bottom portion of the ribbon, so you can double use it. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.